Namaste students. Khush raho betiya. I JV and Dr. Vaichandrakala, Assistant Professor Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. In today's session, we are going to discuss about Bryophyta. Bryophyta is derived from a Greek word bryons, means moss, and phyca means the plant. When we talk about the major characteristic of a bryophyta, it is the old land plants on earth and have been around for 400 millions of years ago. Bryophyta do not have a true vascular tissue for support and transport of water and nutrients. They lack leaves, however, they have leaf-like scales that contain chloroplast in which photosynthesis occurs. They lack true roots. They anchor themselves in the soil by root-like structures called the rhizoids. Rhizoids are relatively simple, sometimes multicellular filaments of within cell wall that extended from the photosynthetic tissue into the soil. Lack of vascular tissue or no lignified tissues have the rhizoids. So here you can see these are usually small or ground or having a measurement of 2 to 4 inches. Okay, so lack of a true stems was found. So amphibian of the plant kingdom or need water for their fertilization. So we can call it as amphibian in the plant kingdom also. Having a habitat, they almost stay in the moist place or a humid environment. Around 9,000 genera and 24,000 species have been found till date. Most the mode of nutrition in autotrophs as well as the saprophyte. So plant body is a thallus, that means not differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Examples are Markensia, Anthoceras. The sporophyte has three parts: foot, setae and capsule. Okay. So here when we talk about the general classifications, there are three classes of Bryophyta. Class Musica, having a moss; class Hepatica, and having a liverwort; and Hornwort. Okay. Class Musica or the mosses, the body of the moss is usually leaf-like. Most prefer damp shade located in the temperate zone. Hepatica or the liverwort. The name liverwort arises because the lobe of the thallus resembles that of the lobe of the liver. So many have been flattened body having a thallus but sometimes having a leafy appearance. The class Anthoceriate having a hornwort, that means the sporophytes of the hornwort look like small green brooms, hanses, or having a unique or among the bryophytes. Unlike the bryophytes and the higher plants, most species of the hornwort have the cells that contain only single chloroplast. So mostly the mosses are very soft plants that are usually having 1 to 10 centimeter tall. So these plants mostly grow close together in a moist or a shady area. Some mosses are found on the rocks and in the arid location or having a flowerless or a seedless. Okay. So when we talk about the liverwort, these are also flowerless or the spore producing plants with spores producing in small capsules, typically small or ranging from 2 to 20 wide with an individual plant less than 10 centimeter long. The certain species may cover large patches of ground. on the rock surface, on the tree, or any other resemblance forms and substance which they occur. The most familiar liverwort consists of the prostate, flattened, or a ribbon-like branching structures called the thallus. So these liverworts are termed as the thallus or the liverwort. However, most of the liverwort producing the flattened stems or having a lapping scales leaves in which more than having a or forming or help in reduction in the soil erosions. The hornworts are the flowerless and spore producing plants with spores typically produced in the tapering horn like or a needle like capsules. So the which develops into a flattened or a green sheets. 100 species have been identified. So generally in the bryophytes, the reproduction take place in the vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction and the sexual reproduction. The asexual reproduction in which a mature sporangium consists of basal swollen foot and a stalk or a setae or a spore producing structure that is around by a layer of a sterile cells. These cells are called the spore mother cells which undergoes meiosis to produce the tetrad of the haploid spores. So these spores are the non-motile, cutinized or the wind disseminated. Okay. So for example, the Rachia, Markentia, which have sterile cells, eleators, and are also producing along the spores. Sexual reproduction, where the sexual reproduction is oogamous type. So here the gametes are produced in multicellular sex organs. Okay. So each antheridia is usually a club shaped containing the anthrocytes and anthrozoids. And each anthrozoids metamorphoses into a motile biflagellate anthrozoids or the male sperms. Okay. Here the alternation of generation also take place. Okay. And the most of the significance factors we can see in the bryophytes is better chance of they have better chance of survival, having a better adaptation to the environment. Variations are produced during the meiosis. Thank you. This session is powered by 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University Jaipur. If you have any doubt, we'll discuss in the problem solving session. Thank you.